What is up, YouTube? My name is Dalen, and today we're gonna check out TierZoo R Anteaters OP. Let us check this out now. This seemed like bullshit. Tell me an Anteater could take out a Jaguar? Really? Come on. Clickbait, buddy. But we know that ain't happening. Yo, what games do you play? Guy that makes TierZoo. What type of games you play? I see a lot of Mario Kart references. I see a lot of Elden Ring. Hold on, somebody's calling me. Y'all can skip ahead. I probably won't edit this. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah. What type of games you play, TierZoo? See a lot of Dark Souls stuff, Mario Kart,
Ants are one of
Nintendo
the
stuff, you know.
overpowered factions in the game. Their go-wide-use social strategy is essentially unbeatable, to the point where they control wide swaths of the overworld pretty much uncontested.
They be working as a team for real.
The undisputed top tier in the current meta has trouble keeping ants at bay.
Like, what was
And
that?
with their huge variety of incredible abilities from acidic has trouble pretty much uncontested. Even the human build, the undisputed top tier in the current meta,
The ants
has
didn't
trouble
blow that shit
keeping
up, right?
ants at bay.
It was the
And
humans.
with their huge variety of incredible abilities, from acidic projectiles and powerful stingers to coordinated attack strategies and terraforming abilities, I don't think it's much of a surprise that ants are such a meta-defining force. And yet, there's one build which can obliterate an entire colony in only a few minutes, the Anteater.
Right.
But does having a super favorable matchup against one of the game's top-tier builds actually
That boy got a
translate
long
into the
schnauzer.
Anteater being top-tier itself?
Bowser
There's so
schnauzer.
much more to the Anteater build than just being able to solo an entire colony of ants with ease. So in today's video, we'll discuss all the abilities and weaknesses of the Anteater build to determine.
Yeah. Is there any ants that could actually take out an Anteater? Let me know in the comments. I wonder.
Anteaters are only playable on the South America server, in both jungle and savanna biomes.
Okay.
And this is not an easy server to try to carve a niche into. I know I drone on a lot about how OP African builds are, but the Amazon rainforest is home to some of the most fearsome predators in the game, including the snake build with the largest size, and the felid build with the most powerful bite, among many other incredibly dangerous predators. Meanwhile, the Anteater's closest living relative is the sloth, a build with so many devastating flaws that I currently rate it as the map furthest down on the tier list.
I don't know, it's so cute the way how they move.
Anteater is able to survive such
Can sloths run? Can sloths run? I don't know. Cause I remember when I was a kid, I always thought that turtles were slow and they can't run. But apparently turtles can run. And there are other animals that are like that too. So I wonder.
Well, they may be closely related to the pathetic moss-covered slugs that Human Faith builds named one of the 7 deadly sins after, but they're also related to this, Megatherium, the gigantic ground sloth.
What the boy? What the heck is that?
Anteaters take after this type of sloth. To see what I mean, let's look at their stats.
Omega, wait, hold on.
That was capable of one-shot. Megatherium, the gigantic ground sloth that was capable of one-shotting a saber-tooth. And in my opinion, Anteaters take after this type of
I didn't know that was a thing.
To see what I mean, let's look at their stats.
Heck,
There is some
that shit look
variation
wild.
among different Anteater builds, which we'll get into
A slack off and then a slacking. Like Pokemon, y'all. Whoa.
later in this video. But for now, we're going to focus on
Hold
the
on
giant
now.
Anteater. Pulling up the analysis, 2 things jump out right away.
That's the evolution line, right? Or is it slacking then slack off? Or the 3? I don't know. I forgot.
Shockingly high HP stat. While they don't have any major form of armor, the Anteater can still shake off a surprising
It's a skinny
amount of
ass
damage,
donkey,
even from
horse,
attacks that might
pony.
normally
What is that?
one-shot most players. This
Skinny
is
as
crucial
hell.
as it allows the Anteater a chance to survive ambushes by jaguars, which is pretty incredible given that jaguars
Wait a minute, what?
survive one-shot most players. This is crucial as it allows the Anteater a chance to survive ambushes by jaguars, which is pretty incredible given that jaguars frequently one-shot crocodilians. But this is also extremely important because it
Hold on, they on timing. Hold on.
Surprisingly high stat to become relevant. That stat being their attack power. This attack power stat might look like a mistake, especially given that Anteaters don't even have teeth.
That sounds crazy.
Completely locked
I
out
need
of
that.
the move bite.
I need that
However,
too.
once you get past the head and
I see what them snakes
you
doing.
realize that at the end of their massive gorilla arms, Anteaters have pickaxe-shaped claws as big as those of a grizzly bear. Except the Anteater's claws are even sharper because
So
they
can
walk on their
Anteaters
knuckles to avoid wearing them
beat a
down.
human?
These incredible weapons are what allow the Anteater to tear through the
Probably
cement-like
not.
walls of termite mounds with ease. But they come with the nice side benefit of being able to absolutely eviscerate any player who fails to kill them in one hit. Their slashes can easily deal lethal damage, so any predator looking to ambush an Anteater needs to make sure they have what it takes to finish the job before
Hold on,
the
Anteaters got
predator
him
looking to
big.
kill them in one hit. Their slashes can easily
I thought they
deal
were a
lethal
little bit smaller than that. That's interesting.
damage. So any predator looking to ambush an Anteater needs to make sure they have what it takes to
Yeah, that
finish
shit
the
does
job.
not look like a real creature. Boy, if I saw this, I was... Alright, bro, where your head at, buddy? Where is your head at?
Counterattack, and this threat alone is often enough
That
to
look kinda
dissuade attacks in
crazy.
the first place. While the Anteater's matchup with the Jaguar is of course important, it wouldn't be fair to the Anteater player base if I didn't comment on their matchup versus you social insect colonies. The Anteater's 2-foot-long tongue is covered in a glue-like substance and can flick in and out over 150 times per minute, which can take out dozens of insects per flick and decimate a colony in no time.
Yo, he going
However,
in. That
similar
nigga
to
started
their
drooling at the
sloth
end
brethren,
too.
and
I saw that.
decimate a colony in
Got
no
all that
time.
bubbling.
However, similar
What,
to the
bubbling
sloth
shit?
brethren, Anteaters opted for a slower metabolism. This comes with downsides, which we'll cover later, but it does mean that they don't need to consume an entire colony of ants, and can actually leave the colony in a damaged but recoverable state. This is a highly sustainable method of farming XP because it ensures that the Anteater player can simply return to the same termite mound or anthill later on, tear into it again, and the colony will have replenished its supply of workers enough that they can just do the same thing again. It also means the Anteater doesn't need to be at any one colony for very long, which is good because despite how powerful their offensive tools are at destroying a colony of insects, Anteaters don't actually have any unique defensive abilities to avoid the damage from the swarm of militant insects they've just provoked, and have to rely solely on their HP.
Okay,
to
so they
soak
do
up the
take damage.
Of course, as mentioned
Makes
prior,
sense.
because of their high
Oh,
HP
yeah.
stat, Anteaters are well
I really
equipped
didn't
to
know
tank
that.
a lot of hits. But the
I would
acid
assume that their
attacks
fur
launched
would've
by termites and ants
probably
certainly aren't
protected
something
them a
they can
little
just
bit.
ignore for extended durations. The rest of the Anteater stats are fairly lackluster. Anteaters aren't as sluggish as sloths, but because of their slow metabolism, they do have a below average movement speed. Given that they've spec'd into mass
Wait a minute.
their slow metabolism, they
Just
do have a
analyzing
below
stuff.
average movement speed. Given that they've spec'd into massive claws on their forelimbs rather than more mobility favoring options like paws or hooves, I don't think this low speed is too surprising. It's a worthy trade-off in my opinion. Their stealth stat is also middle of the road. They don't stick out as bad as some builds, but aren't the best camouflaged either. The Anteater can hide under its bushy tail, disguising itself as a bush. while also
Yo, hold on.
But as far
That
as
boy
plant style
smart.
disguises
Hold
go,
on.
there are certainly more impressive displays
He
out
said,
there.
what if I use my
Anteaters'
ass and hide in
intelligence
my
isn't great
ass?
either. They
Keister
form quite a
myself.
formidable force in groups, yet rarely engage in team strategies, if ever. Their last weakness is
Yo,
their
he said,
force in groups,
he said,
yet rarely
yo,
engage in team
what you
strategies.
doing, buddy?
Their last main
Yo.
weakness is their poor eyesight. It's a good thing they don't go down in one hit, because the
Why you
tiny
do that,
eyes
buddy?
and the size of their heads do not give them the best odds at detecting an ambush before the attacker is within striking range. Next, let's delve into some of the individual variants of the Anteater. The giant Anteater is by far the most powerful, at the cost of its mobility. The giant Anteater is the only variant that lacks the ability to climb trees. Despite their claws being phenomenal for hooking into trees, giant Anteaters simply are too cumbersome to venture into the canopy. There are two other variants of the Anteater build, and both variants are much better at climbing. First is the Tamandua. This mid-sized Anteater sports a slightly lower base power
Yo,
than points.
Yo, the way he moves is kind of funny. Like you like, hold on now. Like he got like a actual kung fu type of stance.
Stat than the giant anteater, but in exchange, it has
I
unlocked
found
a
it weird.
powerful new ability.
That's weird. Are they based off of kangaroos too? Like, is there some like connection there?
A prehensile tail. This perk allows the user to use its tail essentially as a fifth appendage, granting it additional resistance to being knocked down while
Yeah, that's
browsing
kind of
high in
cool.
treetops. Because of its lower HP
That little-
stat, this build can't tank acid damage as well as the giant anteater, and so it needs to avoid high-tier ant builds like the leaf cutter.
That boy got
The final
defense.
variant is the pygmy anteater, a nocturnal build that invests
Pygmy?
more into its stealth than other stats, drastically cutting its bulk and damage.
Ew, what the
In my
boy?
opinion,
That look
the
ugly
pygmy
as heck.
anteater is a bit too similar to the sloth build for me to consider it competitively viable, but to
Yeah.
each their own. Although the ability to climb does come in handy for escaping predators, the giant anteater
it's
doesn't
kinda
seem to
cute,
miss
kinda.
it much.
In
While
some-
the other variants need to work
like
on
in some
attacks from
scenes.
angles,
Some
the giant
angles he's
anteater's
cute.
bulk is enough to protect it from most threats. Its matchup versus the jaguar is still pretty risky.
But I still can't get over.
The other
I can't
variants
get
need to work
over
on
it.
attacks from
Yo,
angles. The giant anteater's
Yo.
bulk is enough to protect it from most threats. Its matchup versus the
can't.
jaguar is still pretty risky,
No.
but it's better than most. So I'm going to give the giant anteater a rating of A tier, while the tamandua gets a rank of B tier, and the pygmy anteater gets a D tier rank. One of the most
okay. Oops.
effective ways to lock in a high placement on
W
the tier
ad
list
coming
is to
up.
have high base stats. And while most stats
Let me see.
require millions of years of evolution,
This dude is good at like
intelligence is one of the few
transitioning into
stats
ads.
which can be leveled
Is this
up,
an ad? Yeah, it's an
provided
ad.
with the right sort of training.
Yes, ad. Alright. Well, that is it for this video. Interesting video. Definitely learned a lot. Also very, but I still like that little stance the Tamandawa Anteater, I think it's called. I think that's how you pronounce it. The Tamandawa Anteater does. But I think it's just cute, funny, cool looking, I think. It's that little stance that you're doing. But yo, W video from TierZoo as always. But leave a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe for more content on my reaction channel, Mr. Dollar Just Reacts. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.